Hello everyone, nice to meet you again. Today I'll teach you the easiest way to make a question in English language. But before delving into our lecture, I'd like to ask you a question. Have you ever asked yourself how many types of questions do we have in English language? If the answer is we have 2 types of question in English language, yes, no question and WH question, this means that you need to listen to this video, so don't go away and wait for me after the intro. Before teaching you the major types of questions in English language, we should wait a moment and ask ourselves, why should human beings ask a question in a given language? Actually, the communication theories said that a human being asks a question for many reasons. And the most important ones are, first, we ask a question to inquire about a piece of information. Second, we ask a question as an interlocutor in a given dialogue or a given conversation to keep our ground and maintain our tone in the communicative process. Third, we ask a question to gain a sort of self-confidence and trust. Fourth, we ask a question to give ourselves a chance to think and meditate about what we shall say. Finally, we might ask questions to express our emotional conditions, to express our anger, our disdain, our detest, our disgust, our pain, our doubt, and so on. The major types of question in English language are as following. Number 1, yes, no question. And this is the base for the next types of formal questions. And as it is indicative from its name, the answer for this question is either by saying yes or no. The second type of questions in English is WH questions. And these types of questions start with a question word. And unlike the first type of the questions, this type needs an answer that states or should state a piece of information or an item of information. The third type of English questions is optional or alternative questions. The addressee here in this type of question are supposed to give an answer from the 2 or more provided choices in the question. The last type of the questions is question tag, which is supposed to be a variation of yes-no question, yet it has a certain characteristic makes him unique in nature. Now we are finished with the 4 major formal questions in English, yet we have another one which is supposed to be informal. What is it? It is statement question. Of course, it seems a contradiction to say statement and at the same time a question. How comes to be a statement as a syntactic structure and a question? And that's what makes it informal. Because in the matter of syntactic structure, it is a statement. And in the function, it is a question. So when we have a statement with a raising tone or raising intonation by the end of the sentence, this sometimes means that we are giving an informal question. So without further ado, let's go thoroughly explain these types of question by examples. In a previous video, I highlighted the importance of the 21 verbs I selected out of the anomalous verbs. And I said that they are very important in the idea that they help me in the tense formation, they help me in making a negation, they help me in making interrogation, they help me in making active and passive voice, they help me in reported speech. And that's what I called this video the most important 21 verb in English language. So it is the time to see how could they help me in making the interrogation of English language. By the way, when I start to make or compose a question, so to say, I mean the yes-no question. Why? Because the yes-no question is the base for every following type of question. So when I mean making yes-no question or how to make a question, I mean yes-no question because it is the base for any other types of questions. If I have a sentence which has any of these 21 verbs, which are supposed to be the modals, the 13 modals, plus 5 primary be conjugations and 3 primary have conjugations. So these will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought to, used to, dare, need, the modals, the 13 modals, plus primary be am, is, are, was, were. And primary verb to have, has, had. So if I have any sentence whose one of these verbs and I wanted to make a question, this is the way. So to start with, the first auxiliary verb out of these 21 verbs. And when I say the first, that's to say, if I have a structure whose more than one of these 21 verbs, like for example the structure of the tense of future perfect, will have, or the future perfect progressive, will have been, or even the perfect modals like could have, should have, must have. If we examine these structures, we would have found more than one of these 21 verbs. So, which one would we deal with? Of course, the first one. So you say, if I will have finished my work. And when I make a yes-no question, I would say, well, I have, not well, have I. So the first one, well, I have, this is correct. The wrong one, well, have I, this is wrong. Okay, so the way I start with the first auxiliary verb plus the subject of a sentence plus the complete sentence, and don't forget to finalize the sentence with a question mark. Okay, then what happens if I don't have any one of these 21 verbs in the sentence that I would like to make a question about? So the next way is to have do, does in the present simple or did in the past simple plus the subject plus the infinitive, then complete the sentence and don't forget to put the question mark if I have yes no question. And of course, if I have WH question, the same structure would be, but I start the sentence with a question word. So if I have a question starting with a question word, like for example, what, how, why, and so on, I would put the question word. Then do, does for present simple tense, or did for the past simple tense, plus the subject, plus the infinitive, then complete the sentence, and don't forget to put the question mark. Simply, these are the two ways by means of which I make a question in the whole structures of English language. So you are either to make use of the 21 verb group or to make use of the verb to do, whether in the present simple tense or whether in the past simple tense. Now let's get started to discover the different types of question in English language. The first type, it is the type of the question that needs an answer by saying yes or no. For example, are you American? Will she come today? Do they go to beach in summer? All these questions are yes/no questions. And of course, you as a listener can answer or can provide an answer by saying yes or no. And of course, you can have this answer as a short by saying yes for the first question, or no, she won't for the second sentence, or yes, they do for the third one. And of course, you can have the complete answer by yes, he is American, no, she won't come today, or yes, they go to beach in summer. The second type of question is WH question. And of course, the WH is a prefix, stands for the question words, which almost start with WH. As you say, in this type of a question, I started with a question word, then I systematically follow the yes/no question technique. So in a question like, what is your surname? Why was she divorced? When shall we meet again? All these questions are asking for an item of information. So as you say, the answer for these questions require a piece of information rather than saying yes or no. The third type of question in English language is the optional or alternative question. For example, did you buy the red or green bike? Which book is better, the new or the old? And as you see, in the question, the speaker has a sort of indecisiveness. As you say, there is an implicit answer in this question. So the speaker is not completely sure whether you bought the red or the green bike. So he asking from the listener to give him a decisive answer for this question. It is clear from these examples that optional question could be yes/no question at the first one, or could be WH question at the second one. The fourth type of question in English is the question tag, and this has its unique characteristics by making it finalized in the sentence. As you say, it follows a statement, and of course what makes it distinguished is to go the reverse way of this sentence. So if the sentence is negative, I affirm this question. If the sentence is affirmative, I negate the question. And of course, this question understood in the intonation of this question. So as you say, according to the type of the intonation, I could understand this as a question. And it almost must be in a higher raising tone to be understood in the way of a question. So for example, I haven't finished work yet, have I? Jane will travel abroad, won't she? So in this way, I could take it for being a question. The previous 4 types of questions in English are supposed to be formal questions. That is to say, they are the language of educated people. So they are standard English. However, we have the last type of questions in English, which is supposed to be informal. I called this type of question as statement question. This question has a feature of being a statement and at the same time to do the function of the question. So when I say I didn't give you the keys yesterday, that's to say, if I look at the structure of a sentence, it is an indicative sentence. That is to say, it expresses a statement. However, function of this indicative sentence is the question. So the intonation, the raising tone or the raising intonation by the end of the sentence makes it to work as a question. So, I didn't give you the key yesterday. You are hungry? That's all for today. If you have question, comment, and out, don't hesitate to put it down in the comments. Never forget, if you find this video helpful, drop a like, press the notification bell, stay tuned to get everything new, and subscribe to my channel. That's what helped me a bunch to develop my academic content. And once again, thank you for watching. Hopefully, see you soon.